I am the Gadget Whisperer, and today we are checking out the setup and unboxing experience for the Sensibo Sky. Along this process, I'll show you how you can replace one of these with one of these and make your air conditioning smart. I'll also give you all the tips and tricks you're going to need to get this process done with as little fuss as possible and be up and running in just a few minutes. Let's check it out. So the first thing we're going to need to do is go and cut through the sticky dots here that hold the cardboard onto the box and take this packet out. We're going to need to lift out this, which contains the Sensibo device itself. Now, they give you a couple of quick procedures that you need to go through here about downloading the app and following the instructions from the app. You won't need to mount this device until you have actually completed the setup procedure. Now, the reason you should do that is because there is a QR code here on the bottom of the device that you're going to need to scan when you're going through the setup. So make sure you don't mount it until the setup has actually been completed. Do it on a desk nearby or do it on like a kitchen counter. The other thing is this device mimics the infrared transmission signals that this standard controller uses. So this device needs to be mounted within 6 meters of your air conditioner. It has multiple transmitters inside of it, so it is reasonably good depending on where you place it. But the best placement you can get is directly underneath your air conditioner or just off to the side. Most air conditioners, the infrared receiver is on the front of the unit. Some have infrared receivers on all three faces, but most only have a single receiver on the front. So that's why mounting it directly below the unit is the best. So we'll set this off to the side, see what else we get in here. So we get a USB wall wart. This one is rated at 0.55 amps and is 5 volt rated. It's also compatible between 100 to 240 volts, and it's compatible with both Hertz ratings. So this is worldwide compatible. And the other thing we get in the box here is an appropriate USB cable. So we'll set the packaging off to the side over here. We'll take this cable out, plug it into the wall wart, connect it up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to plug the Sensibo device in. So the Sensibo device will start blinking once it has powered up, and that means it's awaiting configuration and trying to search for Wi-Fi. So what we're going to now need to do is we're going to need to get our smartphone out and we're going to need to start the procedure. So now we've got the Sensibo all plugged in and ready to go. We've got our phone here. Make sure that you're using a phone that has a data plan that's also attached to it, not just one that's Wi-Fi. As I've found when I've tried to do it with a device that only has Wi-Fi and is in airplane mode, it has a number of issues during the setup process. We also shouldn't have the Sensibo device yet mounted to the wall, as there's a QR code just here underneath the unit that you're going to need as part of the setup process for the Sensibo. Now, you should also have the Wi-Fi network name as well as the password that you're going to connect this Sensibo to. Be aware that the Sensibo does not support 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks. So 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks are the new type of network that's around. Most people will have both a 2.4 GHz network and a 5 gig network. Normally 5 gig networks are labeled as such. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our device on here and we're going to open the Play Store. So this is an Android device, so you use Google Play on this, and if you have an iPhone, you need to open the App Store. So what we're going to do is we're just going to search for Sensibo, and the top result here is the Sensibo application that we need to be installing. We're going to tap install on that. Now it's less than 10 megabytes, so depending on the internet connection you have, it should download in just a few seconds. So even with our fairly slow internet here in Australia, it's pretty good. So I'm going to hit open on that. It's then going to start guiding us through the setup process. So I'm going to hit sign up, as this is a new account I'm using. So I'm going to enter my email address. I'm going to enter my first name, my surname. I'm going to create a password. Now make sure this password is reasonably secure, as anyone who has access to this email address and password can potentially take control of your air conditioning. So you don't want to wake up to an extremely hot apartment in the middle of summer because someone's decided to play with your aircon. So now, this is one of the bugs I've found with the Sensibo application, that you can't scroll down once you've entered the password. If you're on an Android device, you actually just need to hit the back key to make the keyboard disappear, and then we're just going to hit sign up. So it's now going to go through the process, and Sensibo will send us an email once this process is completed, welcoming us to the Sensibo, asking us to confirm our email address, and also inviting us, if we have any trouble with the Sensibo, to email support@sensibo.com if we have any problems with the unit. So their support is legendary, and they respond very quickly and fully open. If you have, say, an air conditioner that supports like a drying feature that's not in their app, they're normally very good at trying to get those features put in. So I've got a Sensibo Sky here, so I'm going to hit Sensibo Sky, and it's going to ask us now to power on the unit. So I've already done that. And the LED should be blinking blue now to signify that it's in the setup mode. So we're going to hit next. It's now going to ask us to turn over the Sensibo device so that we can get to the QR code. So that's one of the reasons you need to have it on a bench when you're doing your first setup. So we're going to hit next. It's going to ask for access to our camera. We're going to hit allow. And now we just need to line up the QR code here and scan it like that. It's that quick, it's that easy. And that's how quick it is to get that QR code scanned. So it's now going to ask for location access. So this is so that you can use the geofence feature later on in the Sensibo app. So we're going to hit allow on that. It's now going to search for the network that the Sensibo is broadcasting. This is a little ad hoc Wi-Fi network that is set up so that you can actually go through and configure the Sensibo device during this process. So we're going to need to actually go in and manually switch our smartphone over to using the Wi-Fi network that the Sensibo here is broadcasting. So to do that, we're going to need to swipe down on our phone, and we're going to go into settings. I'm going to go to connections, and I'm going to tell it to connect to this Sensibo network here. So these end digits will change depending on the Sensibo you have. So I'm going to click to connect to the Sensibo network. It doesn't have a password or anything like that on it. So what we're going to do is it's going to come up saying there may be internet not available. Whoop, I just turned off Wi-Fi accidentally. So it's going to say no internet was available, but that's okay. We don't need internet right now. What we're going to do is we'll just click on this, make sure that auto reconnect is turned off, and click OK. So what we're going to do is we'll go back into the Sensibo app, and now it's gone into the process where it's connected to the Sensibo and it's requesting the Wi-Fi network we want to connect to. So I'm going to hit my 2.4 gigahertz network, and this device does not work on 5 gigahertz. So 5 gig is the new network type. So just make sure you're going onto your 2.4 network. Normally the 2.4 network won't be labeled as such, but it will just be called the network name. So we're just going to enter my password here and click connect. And now what it's going to do is it's going to create the little connection here so that we get the Sensibo all set up. So it's now going to blink in a different pattern so that the Sensibo is now attempting to connect to my home Wi-Fi network. So as you see, the pattern here is different. It's blinking 3 times to signify that the Sensibo is waiting for the device to connect to home, to the Sensibo servers, and then my Sensibo application here is going to update once it has fully connected to the Wi-Fi network and is ready to proceed. So that will take just a minute or so. So as we see here, it's now doing a firmware update for this Sensibo. So that's why it's been taking a little while. So we'll just let this firmware update proceed. They say the firmware update will take between 2 and 3 minutes. Normally I've only had the firmware update take about 60 seconds, but your mileage may vary based on the speed of your internet connection and other limiting factors for you, as well as the speed of your Wi-Fi. So we can now see that the Sensibo has stopped blinking, which indicates that it's successfully hooked up to our Wi-Fi and the Sensibo server, and it will take us through the next steps. We haven't received a message like cannot connect to Wi-Fi or it's timed out. So what Sensibo recommend in this instance is that we just kill the Sensibo application and reopen it so we can get on to the next process. So what they recommend is for me to exit the application, go back into it, and it should now be configured and ready for me to start messing around with. So we're going to touch to set up the remote here. So what we now need to do is Sensibo now needs to synchronize with your remote control. So it's going to ask us to get the air conditioner remote and synchronize with it. So I'll just grab that. So I now have the remote here for my air conditioner. So it says get it and click next once you've got it. And then it says point your air conditioner's remote at the device and click the power button. So we're going to do that. And it's going to ask us a number of times. And now it says the air conditioner has been identified. As you see up here, the temperatures have appeared. It's determined that my air conditioner has the controls of of swing. It also has controls of cool and all of that. So that has now fully configured my air conditioner, and it's actually good to go. So one of the other features that we can try and play with in this new version of the Sensibo application is we can go through and see the recent events. We can see the firmware that this device is running, as well as change over to a different air conditioner if we need to. But if we go back into the main setting of the application, we can go in here and we can set up the geofence. So we can turn on location awareness here, and it's going to say location awareness will turn on the AC when you arrive and turn it off when the last person leaves. So you can share access to your Sensibo account with multiple people. So I'm going to hit continue on here. So what it's going to do is location awareness is now turned on. We'll go back and we're just going to go in and we're going to configure this change icon up here. We need to hit the home and we need to drag to set the new location. So we'll put that there. We'll call it gadgets place, and it gives an address here. So we'll click update on that. So now the device knows where we are and the geofencing feature will now be enabled. So as you see, we've got gadgets place here, and then when I arrive within 500 meters, turn my air conditioner on, and when the last person leaves, turn my air conditioner off. So that's how easy it is to use the geofencing features of the Sensibo here. So now that the Sensibo is all fully set up with our air conditioner here, I'm just going to show you a couple of the features of the Sensibo application just so you get a handle on it. So the first one I'm going to click here is the mode selector. This allows me to move it between the cooling or air conditioning mode, the heating mode that uses the reverse cycle function of my air conditioner to use the heat pump. Drying with my air conditioner is a dehumidifying function, and automatic will set a mid-range temperature and take control of everything for me. So I'm going to leave it on the cooling mode here. So I can also control my fan speed. So I've got my low fan speed, my medium fan speed, my high fan speed, and automatic. I'll just leave it on high as my air conditioner is extremely quiet even in the high setting. We've also got the vane control here. So what the vane control does is it allows us to fix it at the top, have it in a swing mode, and basically when it's at the position you like it in the full motion swing, you can go and stop it. So what we'll do is we'll turn it on to the full range of motion, and the vane is moving, and then we hit it again and the vane will move to the top, and we can also hit it once more and it will stop the vane from moving. So that just allows us to set the control of the vane location. As it is, my air conditioner normally only has about 4 stops of control on the vane. The other thing you can do here is the timer mode. So what the timer mode allows you to do is have the air conditioner either turn on or turn off when you would like it. For instance, you could know you're going to get home in about half an hour and you would like it to turn on. Or for instance, if you've just gone to bed and you want the air conditioner to run about half an hour. So to use this, my mode is currently on. So I'm going to click the timer and I'm going to go through and I'm going to get the air conditioner to turn off in 30 minutes. Click OK in the middle there, and now the Sensibo will automatically turn off my air conditioner in 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to cancel that timer. I'm going to turn the air conditioner to off. Then I'm going to go back in here, and now we see that we have the control that we can turn the air conditioner on in a set amount of time. So we could instance pick that we want it on in 10 minutes, click OK, and what will happen is the Sensibo will now automatically turn on the air conditioner in 10 minutes. So that's just some of the features of the Sensibo that you can use once everything is all set up and happy. So a couple of the other things you can use, you can go through and you can link the Sensibo to Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. As per one of my previous videos, the Google Assistant is now native mode support, and I'll be bringing a video out about that a little bit later. It now is much easier to use. One other thing I wanted to cover is what do you do if the application thinks that your air conditioner is actually on when it is really off, or inversely if it's actually off when the app thinks it is on. This could have happened if someone's used, say, the remote that comes with the air conditioner and they have come out of sync. So this is Gadget Whisperer here in the edit, so I've just paused this video for a second. I've subsequently been told and remounted my Sensibo so that it actually picks up the communication for my air conditioner's remote all the time, and now the Sensibo is always updated even when somebody uses the remote that's included with the air conditioner. Just make sure to mount it as close as possible to the air conditioner itself so it has the greatest chance of receiving that IR signal. Some remotes have a fairly narrow band of transmission, so I'll get on with showing you how to fix the sync issue. What you can do is you can go into the device here, you can click on the air conditioner in question, you hit the settings icon up here, which is the little gear, and you can go sync AC power state. And it says it seems your AC is on, so we're actually going to say my AC is actually off, and now the status has been updated, so it now thinks that this air conditioner is off, and if we want to, we can go and turn it back on, or we can inversely, if it was off, if it was on, we could turn it off. So that's what to do if the Sensibo and the air conditioner get out of sync. So one of the other features you can use with the Sensibo is the scheduling feature. So if you, for instance, want the air conditioner to turn on every day during summer at a set time, what you can do is you can go through and you can click the scheduling icon, which is the calendar. What we'll do is we'll create a new schedule. We'll say it's our lounge room air conditioner here. We want to turn on the air conditioner to the mode of cool. We'll set the temperature to a nice and comfortable 22 degrees. We'll set the fan mode to automatic. What I want it to do is I want it to turn on at 8 AM in the morning because we're coming into summer shortly here in Australia. We'll have that repeat every day of the week. Now, we should also have the air conditioner automatically turn off when I leave for work each day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the AC of lounge. I'm going to have it turn the air conditioner off at, for instance, 9 o'clock in the morning once I've left for the office. So we want to repeat that every day of the week. Now, I come home at 3 PM on Thursdays. So what I want to do is I want the air conditioner to automatically remember to turn on at 3 PM on Thursday so that I can have a nice cool home when I get home. So what I'll do is I'll select my lounge room air conditioner. I want it to turn on. I want the fan mode to automatic. I want it to automatically turn on at 11 o'clock in the morning, and we'll set that on. We'll go through and we'll set the temperature back to 22 degrees here, and we'll set the fan mode auto, and we'll click done on that. Now, I want to have a default automatic schedule to turn the air conditioner off every day at around 11 o'clock when we go to bed, just so if I forget to turn it off before we go to bed, there's never any problems with it being left on. So what we'll do is we'll select the lounge. We want it to turn off, and we want it to get turned off at 12 AM, which is a good time, and we'll click done on that. So I noticed there what I've accidentally done is I've forgotten to set the day on my turning on at 11 AM. So what I want to do is I want to have that turn on at 11 AM. So what I'll do is I'll turn a repeat schedule on, and I'm just going to set that for Thursdays only. So what we'll do is we'll set that, and that's done now. So that's how easy it is to use the scheduling features of the Sensibo. So if you have any issues with the Sensibo, feel free to email their support@sensibo.com, or even leave a comment down below, and I'll try and answer any of the advanced questions. I'll also leave some links in the video description below where you can get more information about the Sensibo, where to purchase it, as well as access to some of the Facebook groups for the Sensibo where people are going through and teaching others how to do more advanced features with their Sensibo. Thanks for checking this out, and I hope you have a great day.